Hello, this is the Aurora, which is a, Russian or Soviet Tier 3 premium cruiser, and unfortunately we're in a Tier 5 game here, which means we're going to have a bit of a hard time doing well, but I'm sure we'll manage. The Aurora is an interesting ship from a historical perspective. It was at the Battle of Tsushima. Don't know why I struggled to say that just then, but I did. And it also played kind of an important role in the Russian Revolution, which is why it's been preserved as a museum ship, so it's actually still in St. Petersburg if you'd like to go see it someday. In with Warships, it's very comparable to the St. Louis, the United States Tier 3 cruiser, and you can actually see one just over there. I'll zoom in a bit. That's the St. Louis. They're both protected cruisers, both from around the same time period. They've both got 8-gun broadsides of 152mm guns, but yeah, they're very similar. Basically the difference is, in terms of firepower, they've got the same guns as I just said. The Aurora gets longer range, actually quite a bit longer range, but in every other respect the St. Louis has better guns. Particularly in turret reverse. As you can see, the Aurora's turrets turn very slowly. Might actually zoom in. Very slow turret reverse, which can make manoeuvring difficult. The St. Louis is also 2 knots faster in terms of top speed, but the Aurora does turn better. Actually, the Aurora does turn pretty well for dodging torpedoes and the like. I'm pretty sure the St. Louis also gets heavier armour, and if not, it's at least got a higher combat capacity, so it can take more damage. And what else is there? Concealment. Oh, the Aurora's a little bit stealthier, but not much, and not really enough to make a difference. And in anti-aircraft guns, I think the Aurora's got a tiny edge. Well, I say that. It's got 6 machine guns for anti-aircraft fire. You can see a bunch of them there. Whereas I'm pretty sure the St. Louis only gets 4. But that is really not a significant difference at all. So, yeah, I'd actually quite easily say the St. Louis is a better ship, but that's what you would expect, in that this is a premium ship. But it still does alright when matchmaking favours it. This game, probably not, but we'll see. Anyway, you can see my top speed's only 20 knots, so my team, the bulk of it's still 5 kilometres ahead of me, and even though I've got a longer range than St. Louis, it's still not enough to hit these enemy ships. It looks like my team's doing an alright job in that Omaha. And who are we going to get to shoot at first? Probably this Phoenix. So I might turn my guns now. Well, there's another Aurora up there, so we'll be able to go and join them. Yes, I turn my guns now because they turn particularly slowly. I actually think the Aurora might get a slightly better gun layout, and that the rear guns can fire at a better forward angle than on the St. Louis, and vice versa, the forward guns can fire further to the rear than they can in the St. Louis, which means that angling your ship might be a bit better. Or rather, you could probably put more fire on your enemy when angling your ship than the St. Louis, which could be a way you could turn this to your advantage. Or, shade that, a way you could effectively use the ship. Okay, almost a range of the Phoenix, and I'll actually switch to armour piercing after my first volley, since the Phoenix has pretty thin armour and I can probably punch straight through it, even at this range. And let's take the shot there. I don't think I lead quite enough. Oh, it's dead anyway. And no, my shots fall just a bit short and a bit behind. So, I wasn't quite fast enough to get into that fight. But, well, it's a battleship, so hopefully it'll last long enough that I might be able to get some hits into it. Same as before, get my guns around so they can fire in this direction. And wait till we're in range, which is very soon. I should switch back to high explosive for shooting at battleships. Because the Arkansas and the Wyoming both, well, they're both the same class of ship, they both got very heavy armour. Kawachi also got heavy armour. And the Wyoming is just coming in within our range. So once we've cleared this hill, fire high explosive broadside at it. Sorry, that was armour piercing, and we're switching to high explosive. I doubt armour piercing will do much of anything against this ship at that range. One hit, no damage. Oh, high explosives really. Wasn't paying attention. And that looks alright. 6 of my 8 shots hit. I didn't see if they did any damage, but the Wyoming's not having a good day. My team's focusing fire very effectively here. 800 damage, only 4 hits. This poor Wyoming, it's the only enemy ship actually coming towards us, so we're all just blasting away at it. 6 hits, so I'm doing pretty well in terms of accuracy here. 8, all 8 hit. And Wyoming's not going to last much longer. Actually, my broadside might kill it here. Nope. Enemy, oh, my allies got the kill just before I did. Okay, so who's going to be next? Probably that St. Louis up there, which has pretty thick armour, so I might keep my high explosive on, just because I don't think I can actually penetrate its armour except at point blank range. But they're all going away from me, so it might be those Wyoming and well, the Wyoming and Arkansas back there might be the next shots I get, or next ships I get shots into. Still just from that engagement, I've got 25 hits, which it's not a good game yet, but it's a good start. Kind of in the Aurora and the St. Louis, I've been looking to get 100 hits on the enemy just to, you know, feel happy. Or not happy, feel like I've had a pretty good game. Gets above 50, I'd be happy. Okay, the ships are almost in range, and they're still coming at us. I think this Wyoming's going to be the one to target. That's probably a bit far ahead, let's try there. And turn bit so I can fire my full broadside. There we go. Got 1 hit. Oops, I really should be firing broadsides. It's turning away from us. And I'll wait till I get my broadside back. And hopefully those will hit, but this is still at maximum range. And unfortunately the Wyoming can outrun us, which means this might be difficult. I managed to miss. It's only barely in range now. My shells are landing short, so in effect it's out of range. Or rather, my shells, it's technically within my range, but this will be able to outrun my shells essentially. Oh, that one. The Kawachi's within range, but behind the hill. And that's St. Louis. I can't really get shots at the island with block it. So Arkansas will come within range shortly. Kawachi we're going to get shots at sooner. About there, I reckon. Maybe I'm leaning too much. And broadside, come on. I obviously didn't quite double click quick enough, so I only fired 2 guns instead of the broadside like I wanted. But we still managed to set it on fire, which is always excellent. And let's try it again. Two hits, 1300 damage, that's pretty alright. Who are the rest of my team shooting at? I'm kind of tempted to switch to the Arkansas just because it's nearer. And it's almost dead, that St. Louis is almost dead as well, so you know, I should try and knock the St. Louis out. Actually still burning, so I'm still doing damage to it. Pretty sure that's still my fire going. 7 hits and I set the St. Louis on fire. So the Aurora's actually got very accurate guns, and now it's dead. So the Omaha, Wyoming, I think the Omaha's the target, although it's just within range, so did it again, double click too slowly, so I only fired 2 guns. I was just saying, I think the Omaha's probably going to outrun my shells again. Yeah, they've fallen short. But as we come around the corner here, I should be able to put some more high explosive fire into these enemy battleships. Hopefully, because those, well, that Omaha and the Wyoming will be able to outrun us forever. And as you see, the Wyoming can fire at us, no problems. Though if it keeps being broadside onto me like that, I might be able to get some shots in. Oh yeah, let's see what we can do. I can only fire to my, well, 2 guns because I'm going straight at it. But I kind of need to go straight at it to try and keep it in range. I actually shot over it then. It's actually coming towards me pretty rapidly, so I might switch back to fire full broadsides in a little bit. Actually, I'll do it now. Oh, it's sunk. So actually I have 2 enemy cruisers left, and one of them's that Omaha who's running away from us. No idea where the other one is, but... well, what is it? It's a Tenru, so... theoretically, I shouldn't be able to catch either of them unless they decide to come and fight me. It's the problem with being in a slow ship. And the Aurora is a very slow ship. Actually, now that I think about it, this might actually be the slowest cruiser in the game. 20 knot top speed. I'm pretty sure that both of the tier 2 cruisers go around 24ish knots. The St. Louis goes 22. I'm not sure about tier 1 cruisers. I think they're about 22, 23ish as well. They're not particularly fast, but I think they are faster than the Aurora. So this is the slowest cruiser in the game, at least according to my memory. Huh. I have a feeling this might be my role in the game over. The other cruisers, enemy cruisers, off towards the centre there. But my plan at the moment is basically just to head for the enemy cap, and that will kind of force the enemy to come to me. Unfortunately, the enemy cap is quite far away, and the enemy cruisers in our cap. I think those 3 can probably deal with it without my help. So I'll take my chances. Well, I probably won't be able to get there in time to help anyway. Keep things towards the enemy flag to try and draw the Omaha in. Although the Omaha looks like it's about to die. Pretty much one more hit from that Congo will kill it. Actually, that Wyoming behind me can probably hit it as well. At least it'll be near its maximum range. I kind of keep hitting. Yeah, the Omaha's there, so we'll turn in towards our cap, since that's where the only enemy ship left is. And you never know, I might get there in time. I can't see how many hit points the Tenru has. Probably not a lot though, I imagine, so the game probably won't last very much longer. Nope, there we go. So we've managed to win. And, well, I did alright. 41 hits, as I said. 50 is what I feel I did okay in, but really, I think I did everything I could in this ship. It's just that I was too slow to actually really, you know, be aggressive with the enemy. I basically had to... I contributed to the bits where the enemy was standing and fighting, but when the enemy were running, I couldn't really do much. You can kind of see that reflected here in that it's a victory, but I've only got 300 experience, which tells you that I didn't actually do that much. And 27,000 credits is also not particularly much. As you see, apparently I was the worst on the team, which I find a bit surprising, because I did get 40 odd hits on target. But I said it wasn't really much. Oh wow. I did very little. My 40 high explosive shots did, well, just under 7,000 damage. Did 6,500 from fires though, so that's kind of alright. I mean, on the plus side, I took very little damage, so I did I gave out twice as much damage as I took. It's just that I don't actually think I could have done much better. Like, I fired very accurately, or I thought I did, but 137 and 40 hits. I plus that one, so 41 hits out of 137. That's not, no, it's alright, but I obviously missed a lot. But yeah, so that's the Aurora, and I kind of think this replay is actually pretty alright because it's showing you both the strengths and the weaknesses of the ship, as in you've seen that it's got, well, I'm going to say fairly accurate guns. They fire fairly rapidly, they don't do a lot of damage, but you've got a lot of them. But you've also seen the big disadvantage of the ship is that its speed, which means that you kind of can't really choose the engagement you get into. You've just got to kind of go somewhere, see where the enemy, you know, how they react to your presence, and hopefully it all works to your advantage. So yeah, that's the Aurora. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.